shoot the shit with Monty and the Pharaoh. How you holding up out there, my friend? How's everything going in Texas? How you dealing with COVID and everything else that's going on in the world?
Oh, everything is beautiful out here, man.
Life is good.
And the COVID, stand away from the COVID. Went and got my shots, and I'm good to go.
And how you stayed away from COVID? Like, do you just like not get around people, or what do you do?
No, I really got my shots already, so I don't fear them too much.
Okay.
All right, well, we got to be careful about talking about COVID on this channel because we were suspended for Missy Hyatt's views on COVID-19, so that didn't go well.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're not allowed to speak about anything in the United States anymore.
It seems like that. What's Ahmed? What is the Texas mindset with the coronavirus? What's it been like in Texas during the last couple of years since this all started?
Well, it's been everybody's been pretty much staying at home. All the little restaurants and stuff are closed down.
Okay.
But they're all back up and going now. Everything seems almost back to normal, except we're having a big fight with the school board as far as, whether the kids have to wear masks or not.
Okay. Where are they at in Texas at this point? Are they making them wear masks, or is it still up in the air?
They were until the school board took them to court.
Okay.
And now our great leader said that they don't have to wear masks. And that's sad coming from somebody who had COVID.
Well, I was actually just talking about that with my wife, right? It's like, even though people are vaccinated, they still should social distance to a certain level and wear masks when out in public, right? Because, again, we all want to protect each other. Yeah, good. I'm glad you do. Not that I would argue with you, man. You're scaring me just looking at you on video right now.
Wait a minute. Can I see him? Oh, my God. Yeah, he didn't shrink at all. Well, are you still working out all the time? I mean, how long is your workout every day? No?
No, man.
All right, then explain. How come you're still so big? Well, how's that work?
Just genetics.
Okay. You're not throwing around cars in your spare time or anything like that?
No. I cut that out about 6 years ago.
So you mentioned genetics, right? Can you tell me about mom and dad?
First African-American singles champion in the WWF when you won the WWF Intercontinental title. How do you feel about that? That's pretty major, my friend.
Yeah, that was super good, man. That's why, when I gave my speech, I wanted to make sure everybody understood I wasn't doing it just for, one race. I was doing it for all the people who, like your fans, the people who are into the sport and people who feel like they have something to prove.
Because that was a major deal, especially up here. I don't know how much you know about the history in the WWE, but like when Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson beat the Wild Samoans, that was such a huge moment, and I would put your moment as winning the Intercontinental title right on that level.
Yep.
When you look back at your career, do you still just realize how important that moment was?
Yeah, that's a moment, man. You can't help but realize how important it was because it helped open the doors for people like even The Rock, I believe. Having the first African American champion opened the door for a lot of people.
What was it like when you first met Vince McMahon? Because your physique is, I would tend to think, is Vince McMahon's wet dream. I mean, what did Vince say to you? Like, oh my, the things we're going to do with you? What was it like when you first met Vince?
You know what? It's funny you said that. He said those exact words.
Did he really say?
Wow.
Yes, he did. He said those exact words.
Wow.
What, like, you're my wet dream, Johnson?
No, he didn't say that part now.
You're hired.
No, he didn't say that part now. He let that part go.
Yeah, okay. But he was obviously clearly very impressed with you. So the first meeting went well when you met Vince.
Yeah, went very well.
Hell yeah,
I was very impressed with him. I was impressed with him and his organization, so it went well.
Were you nervous around him? Was he like this godly figure almost? What was your feeling when you first met him?
Yeah, I was nervous. When I first met him, he very firm man, very firm on his decisions, and he impressed me.
How about the politics? How quickly did you realize, there's some politics?
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, how quick was that before you realized that? With like a day in that locker room?
Oh,
Stepping in?
brother, a day you knew where, people stand, because you walk back there and you see these cliques all together.
Click. There you go.
Yeah, you see, you got the click over here with Yoko, you got a click over here with Shawn, you got a click over here with Joe Blow.
Did anybody try to make you feel comfortable? Anybody come to you and say, welcome, Anybody?
The only person that came up to me, man, made me feel comfortable with Razor Ramon.
Razor
Really?
Ramon?
That's a surprise.
He's part of the
Razor
clique. Are
Ramon.
you sure he wasn't playing you? I mean,
I hope not.
hey, you got some big biceps there, buddy. I don't know if I would have bought into a single thing. I guess he was genuine though. You're saying he was friendly to you guys. Did you guys stay friends over the years?
I'd like to think we did.
Okay.
When he left for WCW, he probably forgot about us all, but
You think? He might have.
yeah,
He might have.
I think that. But he came up to me and he was telling me what looked good that I was doing and what wasn't looking good that I was doing, and I hope he wasn't playing me.
Right.
But like you said, he could have been playing me.
Right. How easy was it for you to adapt to becoming? Forget about it with the internet.
So
but, yeah.
when they speak about you, obviously they thought you were green, and in some cases, some wrestlers thought you were dangerous. We're from Long Island, New York, so I was at the Coliseum when D'Lo Brown broke Droz's neck. I was there live.
Oh Lord!
And then we actually know, when Owen Hart actually hurt Stone Cold Steve Austin. Mm-hmm. I mean, these are two examples of, look, I'm sure accidents happen, but I guess the point I'm trying to make to you is, one, do you feel that just people were jealous because of your meteoric rise in the WWE, so they were trying to hold you down by saying those things about you? Because, to this day, you don't hear about D'Lo being dangerous. And I was there that night. And, that, again, Droz blames himself.
Right.
But I saw that D'Lo was just, in my opinion, was not paying attention.
That was a reckless moment.
And it was reckless. Thank you for the word.
Yeah.
So I guess my point is, how do you feel about my statements? And then can you share with me your thoughts on D'Lo Brown? Because I know you did have a couple of issues with him.
Well, I agree with your statements 100%. Because there was a match one time when we were wrestling, and he did the leap over, that leapfrog thing he does, and I wasn't even in place yet, and he went on and did it anyway.
Mm.
So that jerk ass boy, he's not a friend of mine.
Can you clear the air for those listening out there? Do you feel that your reputation is fair when it comes to these things that some people have written about you on the internet? What is your opinion on people who would say that you worked stiffly?
I would say I probably did. I would even say that honestly, I was a little green, when I came in, but the boss is the boss. He put you in there and say, do this, you do that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or you don't have a job the next morning.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We did mention Owen Hart. You had left the WWE. I believe you were in WCW. What were your thoughts on the Over the Edge pay-per-view the night that we lost Owen Hart and he passed away from the fall?
Oh, man, that hurt me bad. I didn't, expect that. I mean, not from one of the top ring technicians, and then come find out it wasn't that. It was he fell from the roof,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Were you surprised that the show went on?
Yes. Extremely.
If you had been backstage that night, would you have actually said, what are you guys crazy to go on with the show? How do you think you would have? I know it's a hard question to ask, but if you had been there, would you have said something like, what are you guys, nuts, continuing the show?
I think I would have said something, but I can't lie to you. If that's what the boss wanted, was to continue the show,
right, then
that's what you have to do.
Right.
I can't lie to you and say, I'm all, no, I would have stood there and fought back.
I got you. I got you.
Were you close with Owen in your time in the WWE?
Oh, man. I was his king of ha-has.
Really?
Yeah, he used to play ha-has on me all the time, man. He used to get me good, man.
Can you share one of those stories?
Yeah, what'd he do to you? If you could share.
Well, one time we were going, it was WrestleMania 13, I believe. Man, that's how old I am. Jesus
Would
Christ.
you stop? Oh, my God. Okay.
And,
All right, so it was a little while ago. I'm with you. Go on. Oy.
and we were getting ready to, go in there, everybody's getting ready to do what they have to do. And my phone rings, and it's a Jay Leno show. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. And so he tells me, hey, this is Jay Leno show. We want to see you to the studio tomorrow at such time, such. I'm like happy, man. I'm just excited. And then come to find out, I get all dressed up, man, and I went and brought a new suit, some new jewelry and everything. Then come to find out, I walk outside, and Owen and Davey Boy's outside. And I'm like, why are they out here? What are they waiting for? And I'm sitting there like an idiot dressed up with no place to go. And then Brett walks out and starts laughing and tells me, man, Owen and played the game, ha-ha on you. Owen did that, man. That wasn't no Jay Leno show. And they laughing, man. I mean, they're in the bushes. They done laugh so hard.
Did they take you out to dinner at least? You're all dressed up.
No, they didn't do anything but run.
Run! Oh, my God.
They got out there.
Yeah, you show them working stiff, right? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to be right back after this commercial break with. Look, you were a great face, but I could have really felt like you were like a super heel too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is that your demeanor in real life, or is that just an act?
That was just not.
Wow.
Did you prefer would you have preferred to be a face or a good guy if you were the guy writing the script? A good guy or bad guy?
I would have liked to try the heel spot for a little bit.
Yeah.
But they never let me.
Who would you pick as your manager?
Oh man, who would I pick as my manager?
Come on.
I bet you wouldn't be Jim Cornette.
No, for sure. That jerk off. No,
and don't worry, man. He's not a fan of ours.
Yeah,
either,
he don't like
so
us
it's
at
okay.
all. So you could say whatever you
We're
want.
all in the same
him.
boat
No,
together.
he don't like me.
There you go.
No, he's not a big fan of ours.
He don't like me, and I never done anything bad to him, man. I mean, I respected him when he was there, and he still talks shit about me. So
yeah.
Well, because he's that wrestling purist, right? It's like, he probably thought you had to do your dues or something like that.
Wrestling purist. He used a tennis racket to hit people. He's a wrestling purist. Holy arm boss.
So Farrell brought up Shawn Michaels, right? So Shawn had a lot of control back then. Was he one of the guys trying to hold you down? And what was it like dealing with the Clique during that time?
yeah, trust me, if Shawn see anybody finna go up or up the ladder, he was going to hold him back. So he had his hand on me for a while, trying to hold me down.
Now, did you understand that, or like, I mean, honestly, why didn't you just go kick his ass?
That's a good question. I mean, in the beginning, I didn't understand it, but later on, I got to see what the Clique was all about. And it was all about President Shawn running the nation.
President Shawn running the nation. Interesting. Did you ever feel that? How do I put this? This is not an easy thing to ask, but I'll give it a shot. Did you ever feel that those guys would ever get the hell out of your way at any point, or did you just feel frustrated? I mean, what do you do with something like that? I mean, you know that damn well that they've got Vince's ear. Did you ever try going to Vince? Did you ever try to do anything about it?
No, I just let it play out. Because I feel as though, if he got too far with it, then I was going to have to do what I have to do.
I mean, we're getting a lot.
He didn't,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
but he didn't go too far with me with it.
Okay.
We're getting a lot of Gold Dust questions. So what was your relationship with Dustin, and did you want to slap the shit out of him when he kissed you on the mouth?
Yeah. Aye.
Yeah, first of all, I didn't even realize he was going to even do that. He kind of, we rehearsed it, and he put his hand over my mouth, and he kissed his hand. But you know, when we went live, he thought it would be funny not to put his hand there, and he did it for real. And unfortunately, some jobber at the door had to pay for it because he got out of there. He grabbed his bag and went straight out the back door.
Wow.
But no, Dustin's. I mean, he's cool with me, man. I got no problem with Dustin.
So let's go back to President Shawn. How did you feel about like some of the other things he was doing, like having sex with Sonny while Chris Candido was in the wrestling ring and things like that? Did you know that stuff was going on?
Oh yeah, it was obvious. She would disrespect Chris so bad right in front of his face, man.
Did you feel like saying to Chris, like, what are you doing? Like, don't you see this happening?
No, because we weren't that close. I mean, not close to the point where, you know, I would speak on his relationship. So.
How come?
Because there was another clique.
Another clique.
It was a clique, and it was a clique built more on racism than it was anything else.
Really? Wow.
You know.
Wow.
But you hear stories about Ron Simmons, like, teaching everybody and dropping knowledge on them and helping them with their careers. Here you are, you're this young guy, totally hot, he's got the world at his feet, just needs to be guided a little bit and taught.
Sure.
Where was Ron Simmons for Ahmed Johnson?
He wasn't there. He wasn't there at all.
Thoughts on Mr. USA Tony Atlas?
I never really met Tony Atlas.
Well, we got to fix that, Mike.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We're going to have to fix that one for you.
I just want to go back to Ron
Yeah.
Simmons
Sure,
again.
sure.
Why do you think he wasn't there for Ahmed Johnson? He seemed to be there
Out
for
of
everybody else.
jealousy- Out of jealousy, because you remember he was the first black champion in WCW, wasn't he? Or am I speaking wrong?
You are
Nope,
correct.
you're correct.
You're correct.
And then I became the first black champion in WWF, and it was jealousy pure. He even said on one of his interviews that he was jealous.
Interesting. Interesting.
And did you feel that he was jealous at the time, or you just didn't care what anyone thought?
I really didn't care what anyone thought. I mean, as long as you kept to yourself, I didn't care.
Boy, that had to be an interesting balance for you. You clearly had the support of the owner, yet you were dealing with the bullshit from all the employees. That had to be different.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it was.
Strange, man.
Because they didn't want a young, dude coming in there taking spots and this, that, and the other. And that's what happened. I came in, and they saying I came in, too early, and which I wouldn't doubt it, but I came in there willing to learn.
Were there ever aspirations that, or any revelations from Vince that he might have had you becoming a world champion in mind? Was that ever thrown your way in the back, or discussed with you about the possibility of you becoming WWF champion?
That was the rumor.